Welcome to Lubien Realty Talks. I'm Sheila Lubien, your host for today's podcast. This morning is very special because we have another lady boss joining us today. She is the Managing Director of Mega Worlds Hotels and Resorts, Ms. Cleofe Albizo. We'll discuss Mega Worlds Hotels and Resorts strategies in the hospitality industry, adapting to market changes, and Cleofe's insight as a woman leader. Stay tuned for an inspiring conversation on leadership and hospitality. Thank you, Cleofe, for having us here. It's such a beautiful resort in the middle of the Bay Parañaque area. And I know you're very busy, so I really appreciate the time that you're giving us today. So first, I'd like to ask you, of course, about Mega Worlds Hotels and Resorts. And you being the big boss, leading the charge and the future of Mega Worlds Hotels and Resorts. Maybe tell us first about Mega Worlds Hotels and Resorts, your plans, expansion, etc., and what's new. So let's start with that.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be present in your podcast, Sheila. Well, first and foremost, I don't feel like a big boss. It's really the other way around. I am the managing director of the Mega World Hotels and Resorts, and we're the hotel managing arm of Mega World Corporation. We're very glad that at this point we have 13 operational hotels and with 8 and growing, very massively growing. We have 8,500 room keys. We have been announcing as well our future projects in the pipeline, spread all over the Philippines in locations where our Mega World Corporation townships are.
And I have heard that you're the biggest in the Visayas region.
We're actually the largest homegrown brand and hotel operator in the Philippines. The number of room keys that we have give us that leverage, and we're very happy. Being a Filipino brand, we're able to really put forward what Filipino hoteliers can offer.
And you recently won an award. So
yes.
Tell us something about that too.
Well, just recently, in the past 3 weeks, it's been such a blessing. We've been honored 3 major awards. First is the World Travel Awards, Philippines Leading Hospitality Group.
So the number 1 in the Philippines right
yes,
now.
Yes, number 1 in the Philippines, and we're very glad about that honor because as a homegrown brand, it really gives us so much pride that people say the same about us. And it's one that we've been really hoping to get. So it's been such a big celebration
Congratulations.
for us. And the recent Property Guru Philippines also, we've been awarded multiple awards. But I'll share the one that we are very happy about. It's the Philippines Best Operational Hotel Portfolio. And we're very glad to be there.
Beating all the other local
Yes, and
brands.
Best Hotel Developer as well for Mega World Corporation.
And I'm sure you have a lot in the pipeline.
That's so true. And just last week, the Hotel Sales and Marketing Association held the Virtus Awards, one of the most coveted awards in the industry, whereby we got the best campaign for our Sampaguita project.
That Sampaguita brand that you've mentioned. And we attended that event I think a couple of weeks ago, and you touched on that about the Sampaguita experience and all that. Maybe you can also share and tell us more about the Sampaguita experience that is very close to your heart. And I've talked to your team here, they were talking about that. So
everyone's just proud and gushing every time we talk about that project. I'll segue to the Virtus Awards.
Okay.
It's a most outstanding campaign of the year. But it's really more than a campaign for us. It's something that's so dear to our hearts. Because it's just been a year when we launched it. And last August 30, 2023, we brought out in the open to the media the concept of the Sampaguita project. And it's one that really encompasses the entirety of the Filipino brand of service that Mega World Hotels and Resorts really offer. So we go to places, we go to many countries, Sheila, I'm sure you're very well traveled, but there's really that desire for us to put forward what Filipinos can offer in terms of hospitality. That's the main aim of the Sampaguita project, to put to life what we can offer as hoteliers, what we can describe and hinge with, take reference from in terms of what we can do in our customer service. And we did not just choose any flower, we chose the Sampaguita, which is our national flower. Jasmine, as it may be called globally. And we're very glad that in the project we were able to really connect the values of Sampaguita, which is love, honor, dignity, and healing, to the core values that our group also resonate with.
And many Filipinos can relate to that.
And it's very interesting, Sheila. Allow me to share to you that for us to be able to explain very fully the Sampaguita project, we made sure that it's available in all key touch points of the customers. So through the 5 senses.
Okay.
So
when they enter.
Yes, the site, if you look at our Sampaguita pins, a lot of our decorations, a lot of our visuals are Sampaguita inspired.
Inside the hotels?
Through the smell, we partnered with Well-Being.
Okay.
It's a startup company of 2 mothers.
Oh, that's good.
They
Support
develop our Sampaguita scenting, also some of our amenities, they develop it. And with our partnership with Well-Being, the startup company, we're able to connect with them because our orders also makes the Project Pearls, which is a feeding program for some families in Tondo.
Okay. Part of
The outreach program. And so far, in our recent report, we've been able to feed 4,500 families.
That's good.
And we also do the sense of hearing. It's amazing how in certain times of the day, we play original Filipino music. And it's amazing how sometimes we do not get to have the avenue to hear this music that we
have
love.
to promote the Filipino culture.
It's a beautiful avenue for us to recall, reminisce, and reconnect with our culture through the music that we actually have. And music talents of the Filipinos, Filipino music talents is one that we're so proud of.
Globally exported.
Globally known, yes. They're all over the world. And of course, we also have this sense of touch, which is where we do some of our massage oils.
Okay.
Made from Sampaguita essence. And of course, we do have some spritz and sprays when we have customers by the pool area. And last but not the least, we're very proud. Sense of taste.
Okay, so food, Filipino food.
Food and drinks. We are so proud that our culinary teams have created a widespread, a very good spread.
But can you eat Sampaguita?
It is edible.
Okay.
It is edible when you process it. So this journey, a lot of it has been on research and development on how to process the Sampaguita. So it's made available in our drinks. We've got one of the best-selling is the Samara tea, the Sampaguita mango and tarragon. So we plant our tarragon and then we put it in our teas, and that really makes a very good combination.
Thank you for that. Now let's go deeper and talk about the strategies in a very, I'd say, competitive market. Tourism industry is one of the biggest pillars of the Philippine economy. Pre-pandemic, we were enjoying a very high, I'd say, revenue when it comes to tourism because we have a lot of expats, foreigners coming here. Today is a different story, but as we all know, the tourism industry is back. That revenge travel is here again. And there are also a lot of groups who are putting up their local brands here in the Philippines. So how do you now work on that given this challenging market? How did you adapt post-pandemic? How was it, the Mega Worlds hotels and resorts? What have you done to, of course, still differentiate your product yourselves in the market?
Sheila, I'm sure you know our industry so much because you interface with a lot of the key players in the industry. back in 2020, when our owners decided to merge most of our brands and put it under one umbrella, Mega World Hotels and now Mega World Hotels and Resorts, we thought that one of the biggest key factors for us to stand out is really the number of room keys that we have. We've got the most number of hotel rooms, and this makes us the biggest contributor for MICE preparedness for the country.
Oh.
And we thought that it's something to claim, where we are the largest in the Philippines and a Filipino-owned company at that. But we knew that it was not enough. We knew that having the most number of room keys is not enough for us to stand out,
Yes.
to make sure that we have the right core reasons through the challenges of the industry to keep us going. That's why we really deliberately put forward the pride of being Filipino.
Okay.
We are a staunch supporter of hoteliers and hotel professionals, believing that a Filipino brand can make it through the competitive landscape of the industry. It's understandable when associates have a desire to work for international chains. I'm an alumna of Marriott International, having been the first Filipino GM here in the country when I opened the Courtyard by Marriott Iloilo. It's always an inspiration how these brands put together a structure of efficiency and putting forward customer service excellence in ways we just can't explain. It's beautiful what they put forward. But what we are trying to put as a priority and as a core value is that sense of pride where Filipinos can actually do something and make something available in the hospitality industry and still be proud of it. Like our associates, where they put their future and careers in our trust, right? So the direction of really cultivating that sense of pride is just within us.
It's that local brand.
Yes, and it's the core of what we want them to believe in. We're Filipino, we're local, but there's so much in a Filipino hospitality to be proud of. I always say a lot of our international brands are actually composed of a lot of Filipino hospitality workers as well. We do the rolling up of the sleeves, do the hard work, we do a lot of the creativities, and why not do it for our own?
That's true. And that sets Mega World Hotels and
Apart.
Resorts, on top, right? That differentiate the brand, the hotel.
With all humility, we are still so proud to say so.
Yeah, because Filipinos were very hospitable. It's innate in us,
I
right?
know.
And having
even in our homes,
leader,
right? In
of
our
course.
homes, we put out the best when we have
We
guests.
give them our rooms, right? If there's
Yes.
guests. So, yes, I agree with that. So, talking about that and all, you mentioned about MICE and the meetings, incentives, and conventions, etc. That's very big abroad, in the US, Europe. But here in the Philippines, because Asia is now the focus, a lot of companies, a lot of big brands are coming here because of the population, very young and all that, especially here in the Philippines. So how do you focus on that market now? And do you think that that segment will really grow and can attract a lot of investors, foreigners to come here in the Philippines and be really globally recognized as a MICE location?
Yeah. I think in the past few years, there's been a lot of focus in really cultivating our MICE preparedness in the country. We have been a very big supporter of the Department of Tourism and also our local governments for putting up facilities and amenities that really provide for MICE readiness. In our background is the Grand West Side Hotel, just on
West Side.
just on the side view, but I hope that everybody gets to try and visit the Grand West Side Hotel.
Your newest baby.
Yes, we recently opened this sometime in June, and we were so honored to have no less than our President of the country, President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. And we have been getting a lot of support from the government through their presence and through their support here, because This is the biggest hotel in terms of room keys
Okay.
throughout the
How many room keys
Philippines.
again?
It's 1,530.
1,500.
And why are there projects that our company is putting together? We've heard our CEO, Kevin Tan, really talk about tourism as a core focus of the future developments of the Alliance Global Incorporated. So Mega World Corporation, through our president, Ms. Lou Gutierrez Alfonso, has also been very open about it on how the townships are going to be geared towards supporting tourism and hospitality. You see, with a 1,500 room key hotel, this gives us the capacity to host big MICE.
Big events.
Yes, it gives us the room capacity where MICE attendees really get to have the accommodation they need. There will be a lot of projects throughout our company as well to support this. In fact, one of the projects that support MICE is the Boracay New Coast Convention Center. You would not imagine having a convention center right smack in the middle of a beautiful island like Boracay. It's always leisure when we think about Boracay, but having this facility really equips the island to also be able to capture MICE attendees.
But I think that's what we want.
Exactly.
Work, fun combined, right?
Exactly. And imagine Boracay being the venue for your convention. We did have like Asian conference for architects about last year. I talked to some attendees that flew from China and took about 3 flights just to get to Boracay. But they said it's all worth it. The view, the beautiful sunset and sunrise
The experience.
in
You have to
Boracay,
want it.
it's beautiful. And having facilities that allow us to do that. In Boracay New Coast, we have 2 hotels and existing operationally. It's the Savoy Hotel Boracay as well as the Balmond Hotel Boracay. But in just a few months, we will be opening soon the Chancellor Hotel Boracay, equipping us with the convention center that we have. But that's not just it. In the Mactan New Town,
The Visayas area.
in the Visayas, in the central
What's the
of
biggest
Visayas.
conference room? How many people can you accommodate?
This one will be able to accommodate 2,500.
Wow, really a big event, an international kind.
Yes, this is going to be completed by middle to the latter part of 2025. And we're very excited. This will also equip our Belmont Hotel Mactan as well as our Savoy Hotel Mactan. And we don't stop in providing the facilities only, Sheila. We know that a lot of synergy has to happen because the work for MICE promotion is not solely given to the government. I am currently the chairman of the Boracay MICE Alliance.
Congratulations.
And
a lot of work again.
yes, and we are very glad that we have gathered. This is through the help of the Tourism Promotions Board as well as the Department of Tourism Region 6 under R.D. Crisma Rodriguez. This is a work of synergizing stakeholders across many sectors of the industry where we gather to promote and address some issues as well, really be able to promote Boracay
and the whole country.
And the whole country. And in Iloilo, we've also been very active in the creation of Iloilo MICE Alliance that actually came in before the Boracay MICE Alliance. Our current chair there is also our general manager of the Richmond Hotel Iloilo, Natalie Lim. And we are very active in gathering the stakeholders as well. This goes beyond brands.
Yes.
We promote the Visit Iloilo campaign.
So the city itself,
Yes,
the hotel,
all
and the whole
involved.
country.
The Iloilo Foundation, Festival Foundation, led by Alan Tan, is our staunch supporter. So they lead in the activities, and we're very glad to be so involved in the community. We believe that if we promote our own brand, it will be very difficult, especially if you want global awareness. Promoting the destination is key. So,
and we want the
destination
Philippines to be
marketing
up there.
Yes, definitely.
Totally
a lot of
agree.
help.
Given all that, you mentioned that it's a synergy, it's a group work, not just the brand, but the city itself and the country. And we know that in a landscape that we have right now, there are a lot of challenges. And in the Philippines, infrastructure is one of the biggest concern, right? You mentioned, okay, when you go to Boracay, you'll experience, I don't know, 4 modes of transportation, land, sea, air, tricycle, whatever. So to promote that market, right, and your business as well, to grow the business even more, how do you now work with all these challenges? What have you done? There are, of course, the infrastructure, getting to the site, the location. We are in a very good spot today. The Bay City, Parañaque is the center. Airport is near. But for other areas that you still want to expand on, how do you go about the challenges? As a company, what have you done to address the transportation issue, connectivity perhaps, etc.?
Well, first and foremost, we are cognizant of everything that we don't have control over.
That's true.
And everything that we do have a bit of control and influence. Infrastructure is one. I think the best disposition or mantra and outlook that the group has always had is where we can, we will help.
Okay.
And voice, amplifying voice is also one. Whereby our associations where we have been active in becomes the vehicle for us to be able to connect ourselves with the public sector, so the government. Just recently, if I may share, we met up with San Miguel Corporation, who is taking care of the Boracay or the Caticlan Airport, to be able to share to them our situation, so that we also get to hear them with what they have in stored in the pipeline, to make sure that we are well aligned of the future plans. We get this much involved. And we are also, like everybody in the Philippines, we're looking forward to the rehabilitation of NAIA, the project on the San Miguel as well, because connectivity is everything. The number of flights will spell the number of arrivals.
Yes.
Yeah, there are some that have to go through all the travels, and when they come to the Philippines, they will all say it's all worth it. What we have to offer here as a country is bar none. We're just so proud that we have such a good mix of product offerings. We just need the infrastructure to come. That's why we're highly involved. We also get to be in the discussions. So
To influence.
we talk with DOT. They've also been a very good partner across all the efforts, and we support their projects in massive ways.
So how do you plan on expansion given the limitations that you've mentioned? Do you look at areas wherein the infrastructure is already good? I'm just curious, I'm in the real estate industry, and when you do expand and look for sites, is that part of the decision-making process, a good area?
I think what I'm
or
proud-
the BPO industry maybe?
What I'm proud of the company that we serve for is the township concept that they have.
The mixed-use township project.
Yes, sometimes it's in location, there are locations that are prime already,
Okay.
but they also make locations like the visionary selection of areas, like what they did in Iloilo, case in point. I mean,
It's beautiful.
it's
I've been there.
beautiful, and it primes the city. So the selection of land banking, the areas like Palawan, capital town, the Batangas developments. I mean, they've just recently launched Ilocos. There's a wide selection, and they have so much faith and confidence that where they bring their projects to, people will follow.
People will follow.
It primes the community, it primes the place, provides employment to more people.
That's true.
It really gives the factor of elevating a city or locality. And we're
And
all
we won't
proud
have
to
any
contribute.
problem in expansion moving forward. So
Build
all
and
the
they
land
will
banking.
come. Yes, build and they will come.
Okay. Cleofe, you're an inspiration to many, and I'm sure being a woman and a woman leader in the hospitality industry is not easy. It's a male-dominated industry. I came from this industry also, and back in the day, 10, 15 years ago, when you see the CEO of a big hotel, usually always a man there, right? Today, I see some women, and now you leading the hotels and resorts group of Mega World is actually a big thing. You said earlier that it's not, but hey, it's a big thing. And it's not easy to lead a hospitality industry. As mentioned, it's high touch. So how do you now balance your life as a mom, as a leader, as a boss, and making sure that the business is profitable? So first, probably tell us about your secrets. Is there something there that we have to know? And of course, our audience would be also curious to hear from you.
Well, maybe I could start off with sharing that I've been in the industry for 11 years already.
More than a decade.
Yeah, more than a decade. I had almost a decade. I was stint with Globe Telecom, so a totally different industry.
Telco.
Yes, that was also one of the best experiences because it really gives you the avenue, because I was handling sales and marketing in a decade span, shifted between marketing and sales. I think a lot of it is really deciding that you can do it. Operations is always a difficult part of the industry to get in, because the mindset of women, majority, is when you do a general manager role, that's like 24/7 role. So what's left for your family? What's left for personal time?
Yes.
That is always a consideration. So you'd have to be deliberate in a decision to do it. And I think we're very glad that a lot of women are getting into the job, but it still remains a minority. But we're also very glad to be able to groom and start developing women leaders by showing that it's something that you can do and still glam up with the job, still be able to have very good relationships with your children.
What are the challenges that you've experienced?
There's a lot. Oh my
Maybe share
God.
something.
I'll make a litany. I will never stop, but they always make us strong.
I know that.
I think I always have been very open to my team, how my failures in life have been a critical part of the personality, the persona, the character that I developed through time. I also say that it's one that's a combination of career failures, personal failures, love life failures, and all these are ingredients have been very good, building blocks to creating a resilient you. The recognition that, of course, God is the giver of all, that even beyond religion, our efforts, when you hinge it on someone greater than you, so your belief in what you do is not based on
I'm good.
I'm good, I'm the best. It's never about that, because when you have a spiritual relationship with the Creator, it gives you a lot of humility that anything can happen. As a leader, you know that your relationship with your people is one where you do not request for respect and trust. It's something that's voluntarily given based on your day-to-day treatment with them. We have the circle of happiness, and I say that I think
Circle of happiness.
it's a circle of happiness. We have it as our culture, and we've got 4 pillars, and that's love for yourself. That's why we are trying to be deliberate in taking care of ourselves. Love for family. We are cultivating a culture where you do not have to lie when you go leaves to be with your family. It's very important part of our ecosystem, our love for our children, our partners, husbands, wives. It's something that we want to encourage people to do. Although it's a very rigid industry, so much pressure, but if you go because you need to be attending your child's recital, then go ahead with it.
You're
be
open,
proud.
open.
Yes. And then love for work, the positivity, because It's like you say, it's high touch. It's not for everybody. You serve people on Valentine's. Your date goes delayed.
New Year, you're working.
Holidays like Christmas and New Year are very busy days. These are selfless individuals serving people to make sure that the memories of the celebrations they create become really valuable and precious. And of course, you've got love for community, so we give back. That's why we have the Sampaguita project. We have community involvement. And in the middle of it all is our love for God.
That's true.
I think I am deliberate in really creating the culture because it's also reference for me.
Yes.
It's like me admitting that I'm not perfect. I need the reference. I need to be reminded every day, and we're all a work in progress.
That's true.
I've got a beautiful community as well. Like they say, Ma'am, executive check off. Like all these things. Time to do this.
Yeah.
Oh, you've been traveling too much. Maybe change time off because your weekends are already consumed. We've got a beautiful open door policy. They get to bully me sometimes. That's why I feel like, oh, this is no boss job. But we see each other as family. But when we talk about the business, they know we mean business.
Which is good.
And we deliver.
That's true.
And our numbers will speak about
So
it.
how do you now balance your family life with the business? Do you still have, or it's an integration of everything now?
We
You have kids
we
also.
do integration. I think a lot of help that my kids are not kids anymore. I've got a 28-year-old,
They're grown-ups.
a 26, a 24, and a 16-year-old. I have one grandchild. I think that's the best description of me.
Very young grandmom.
I have my baby Erin. Said she's so lovely.
So she
And
always have inspiration.
They still are the focus of your day-to-day grind. They are the reason why you sacrifice, because you want lives to be better than what you have had. You want to be able to equip them. That's the reason for hard work. And I can gush about it all
For
the
hours. I can see the sincerity and
yes.
the pride in your eyes, Cleo. Very inspiring.
Oh, thank
so
you.
there are a lot of women out there who would also want to advance in their career. You've shared so many things about having faith, that resilience mindset, that every time you fall down, you have to get up and do it again and be successful, right? So what's your, I guess the last question would be your advice to all the young women out there who are still trying to make it and trying to be where you are?
Well, through time and throughout the decades, I've had changing mantras and principles in life. But I just saw myself really being deliberate in helping those that I can help along the journey. The more you think less of yourself, the more empowered you are, the more blessings you get, the more opportunities you get, because in the past there may be like a desire to go on top. But when you reach a certain level of awareness and maturity, you realize that the best happiness actually comes from being able to provide opportunities for others, because you know how it is to be here, you know how it is to be a single mom, you know how it is to be a breadwinner, you know how it is to have a husband, you know how it is to want to have more in your career. At some point of your life, someone believed in you. And it's time for you to pay it forward. Make them believe that with the right avenue, with the right support system, and with the right mindset. I still believe that mindset is really very critical. Because no matter what the challenges are that you get to face, if your mindset is, this opportunity, no matter how hard, will make me better. I'm going to conquer this. I have the best support system. I think when you give love to the world, love gets back to you. Yeah, gets back to you. And I am so blessed to be in a world where I get so much love from work, not just from the family. I'm very happy to share that.
Beautifully said. Thank you, Cleofe, for this inspiring morning. I learned a lot, and I'm sure our audience have learned a lot from you as well. So let's enjoy our tea now.
Yeah,
Thank
sure.
you so much.
I'll serve you.
Thank you for tuning in to Lubian Realty Talks. It was a pleasure having Ms. Cleofe Albiso in today's episode. If you enjoyed this episode, please be sure to subscribe to our channel and social media platforms and follow us for more updates and conversations with industry leaders. See you again next time. This is Sheila Lobien, your host for today's podcast.